Hello everyone, my name is Lalit Goel and I am a professor of the School of Electrical and Electronic Engineering at NTU and concurrently the director of the Renaissance Engineering Program or REP. Today I am going to give you some information about the REP in terms of the program educational objectives, the curriculum, the industrial interaction, the overseas part of the curriculum, the Master of Science component of the curriculum, and the student activities that the REP students go through. So without further ado, let us see what we have in store for you. The first question that comes to mind is, what do you as prospective students need to know about the REP? So I am going to explain that to you in a short while. So first things that we need to learn about the program are the vision and mission statements, which you can see from this particular slide, which tells you that the vision of the program is to be a premier engineering program which will nurture you as our prospective students as the future leaders of the industry. And the mission of the program is multifaceted. It is broad-based, interdisciplinary engineering education program, but it integrates engineering, science, humanities, business, technology management in such a way that the degree that you receive is that of engineering science and not that of engineering. And finally, of course, we want to nurture engineering leaders who have an entrepreneurial spirit to serve the society with integrity and with excellence. Let's now look at the program educational objectives, which are threefold, as you can see from this particular slide. Number one, we want you to implement innovative solutions which integrate sound engineering principles with entrepreneurial vision and business acumen across the various range of your careers which you will end up with. Number two, we want you to lead multidisciplinary teams, and we want you to deploy good communication skills and draw on your global perspectives which you will acquire especially during your overseas education in year number 3. And finally, make an active and constructive and ethical contribution to society with a very strong sense of professional responsibility. The REP is a co-terminal dual degree program which will generally end in 4.5 years. That is, you will finish in the December of the 5th year and you will receive your degrees in the convocation typically in July after you have graduated or finished your studies in 4.5 years. The first degree that you will receive will be the Bachelor of Engineering Science and with specialization in a specific engineering area, and the second degree is the Master of Science in Technology Management. The 2 degrees will be given to you after you complete the program after 4.5 years. There is no exit path for you to finish the Bachelor of Engineering Science program and then want the degree of Bachelor of Engineering Science. So it is considered an integrated program. Both the degrees will be awarded after you complete the program in 4.5 years. The other thing that you should note, which is very, very important, is that this degree, the Bachelor of Engineering Science degree, has been accredited under the Washington Accord by the Institution of Engineers Singapore, which is a signatory of the Washington Accord, through the Engineering Accreditation Board, EAB. What this means for you is that you can work in many countries because of the engineering science degree that you get from NTU, and that degree is recognized in all the countries that have signed the Washington Accord, and that list is quite a long list. So the Bachelor of Engineering Science degree that you will obtain in this program has 10 engineering specializations that you can see on the screen here in alphabetical order: aerospace engineering, bioengineering, chemical and biomolecular engineering, civil engineering, computer engineering, computer science, electrical and electronic engineering, environmental engineering, materials engineering, and last but not least, mechanical engineering. And the good thing about the REP is that you don't need to pick up the specialization when you enroll for the program. You actually go through year 1 of classes and we allow you to decide your specialization at the end of the first year. What are the unique features of the REP? As you can see from this slide, REP is a very, very special premier scholars program at NTU, and there are 4 of them. REP, of course, the University Scholars Program, the C.N. Young Scholars Program, and the NTU NIE Teaching Scholars Program. So some of the unique features of the program are shown here. There is a one-year overseas study, which a lot of students really want to join this program for. The learning pedagogy is team-based, and especially for the core courses that you will take in year 1 and some in year 2, we engage the team-based learning pedagogy, which you may have been exposed to in your junior college and or elsewhere. Also, the professional attachment for 10 to 12 weeks you can complete in year 3, either overseas or in Singapore. The residential experience in student life offers you lots of opportunities to hone your leadership skills and be part of one of the clubs at NTU, including the Renaissance Engineering Club, which I shall mention a little later as well. You are taught by top faculty who we give the honor of being called REP Fellows, and these are some of the most prestigious and most well-educated lecturers in NTU, coming from all the disciplines, not just engineering, but from the College of Science, from the College of Humanities, Arts and Social Sciences, as well as from the College of Business. Leadership development is a common theme in the REP, so you will be exposed to a workshop when you join the program in year 1, semester 1, which will let you look at yourself in introspection so that you know what your strengths and weaknesses are and how you can evaluate yourself before you learn about the leadership skills that you can impose on your colleagues and other people. So the journey starts in year 1, and it of course inculcates, and finally when you go overseas you will also be involved in the leadership journey, and when you come back in year 4 there's a couple more courses on leadership that you shall study. Then we also have broad-based interdisciplinary education for you. I will tell you a little bit more about it in the next couple of slides. And last but not least, it is a Premier Scholars Program, which I also alluded to earlier. So how does the REP curriculum look like? What do you think you will study in the 4.5 years? Obviously, in this short presentation, we do not want to go into specific details of the courses, which you can easily look into on the REP website. But I just want to give you a broad overview of what is involved. So from the overview of REP curriculum, you can see that years 1 and 2, we will generally teach you common core courses in maths, sciences, and major engineering disciplines. So what's the idea behind teaching you core courses in the major engineering disciplines? Remember, I told you that you do not choose your specialization until the end of year 1 in REP. So in year 1, you will take courses in mathematics, you will take courses in electronic and information engineering, materials and manufacturing, thermal sciences and electromagnetism, and so on and so forth, so that you can decide which out of the 10 specializations you want to select in order to graduate in that particular discipline after you complete your Bachelor of Engineering Science degree. And then there are other core courses which are in humanities and art, design and media, etc. So throughout your 4-year undergraduate degree, you will have common core courses in the functional areas of business as well as entrepreneurship. For example, there are courses on strategic marketing, fundamentals of management, financial management, accounting, and entrepreneurship journey. So all those will be covered from years 1 through 4. And also in year 1 and 2, now since August 2021, the university has rolled out the Interdisciplinary Collaborative Core, or ICC curriculum. So you will be exposed to that curriculum as soon as you join the REP program, either in 2022 or beyond. For the boys who apply next year, they'll join 2 years later. So I'll tell you a little bit more about the ICC, Interdisciplinary Core Curriculum, in the next slide. Also, we have core and elective courses in engineering specializations. Obviously, you want to specialize in a certain field. Out of those 10 specializations, you need to take core courses in that particular area. And there will be certain electives as well. So they will start from your year 2, and you will normally complete them at the end of year 4, including your final year project, or in lieu of that, the Renaissance Capstone project. Core and elective courses in the management of technology will start from year 4, semester 1, and will conclude with the completion of your Master of Science in Technology Management at the end of year 5 semester 1. And then there's the overseas year at 5 renowned partner universities, and I'll tell you which are those universities. And you can also do your 10 to 12 week professional attachment, or what every student generally refers to as internship, for 10 to 12 weeks either overseas or in Singapore. So all this actually encapsulates the REP curriculum in a nutshell. Obviously the details are not here, and it's going to be too much for us to go deep down, but if you really want to deep dive, please refer to our curriculum on the website. So what are the new initiatives that the university has rolled out since August 2021 under this interdisciplinarity? And the curriculum is known as ICC, or Interdisciplinary Collaborative Core Curriculum. So as you can see from this slide, it covers a wide variety of topics, including digital literacy, writing across disciplines, healthy living, mental well-being, sustainability, ethics, and science and technology for humanity, meaning global challenges in the 21st century. Generally, we engage or employ the flipped classroom pedagogy and collaborative learning techniques. And of course, you will be mixed with students from other disciplines, and that's the whole idea of the interdisciplinary collaborative core. That is, you don't study only with your peers in REP or with your peers in engineering. You will also take classes under this initiative with students from the College of Business, the College of Humanities, Arts and Social Sciences, the College of Science, and perhaps with the students from the LKC School of Medicine as well. Now this is something that is new. It has not been offered before, but we are implementing it from August 2022, and that is, in addition to graduating with REP dual degree, you can also do a second major in entrepreneurship. This would be very useful, particularly for those of you who want to have startups of your own, who have an entrepreneurial mindset, who are not sure, but maybe halfway down the program you realize that this is something that you would like. So I think this will help you inculcate the interdisciplinarity skills in a much broader way, and you should be on the path to entrepreneurship should you take up the second major in entrepreneurship. So what are the requirements for this? Obviously, you will get the 2 degrees which you get in the REP itself, which is the Bachelor of Engineering Science and the Master of Science in Technology Management. And in addition, you'll get a separate certificate which will say that you have also graduated with a second major in entrepreneurship. In terms of the curriculum, we require you to take 4 compulsory courses, 4 elective courses, and there is a 20-week internship which is mandatory. However, since REP students already take a 10 to 12 week internship, so that 10 week of REP internship will be subsumed under this 20-week internship requirement. So you don't have to do 20 plus 10, you will only have to do 20 weeks of internship over the entire 4.5 years in order to get the second major in entrepreneurship. And last but not least, your final year project must be industry sponsored, and typically it will be sponsored by startup companies in Singapore. Yeah, so that's something very exciting. We are very excited with the new cohort coming up in 2022, and we hope that many of you will take up the second major in entrepreneurship. So what can REP students expect in year 3? I think this is the one that has attracted a lot of students to REP, because not many programs in NTU that we are aware of allow you to go overseas for 1 full year. Most of the time students from NTU are able to go overseas for 1 semester on exchange, but not for 2 semesters or for 1 full year. So REP is an exception in that particular regard. We will let you go overseas for 1 full year, and you will take about 27 credits of courses in one of the 5 partner universities that you see listed here. The University of California, Berkeley, which is one of the most popular, needless to say, being in the Silicon Valley. Imperial College London, which is also very, very popular with REP students. And 3 universities in Canada: University of Toronto, University of British Columbia, and the University of Waterloo. Now each of these 5 universities have their own strengths. Some of you are looking for entrepreneurial ventures, and you'll probably look at Berkeley. Others who are looking for a very good academic curriculum, you might be looking at Imperial College London. And the 3 Canadian universities are 3 of the top universities in that part of the world. So it will be very exciting for you to get that global exposure, the global mindset, and to improve your cross-cultural intelligence when you go overseas for 1 year at one of these 5 universities. I must emphasize though that we do not guarantee you a place in a particular university, but we guarantee you a place in one of these 5 universities. So please do take note of that. And last but not least, of course, while you are overseas, you can also do your 10 to 12-week attachment over there itself. Our Office of CAO Career and Attachment Services will help you to source for companies that you can work with on internship. However, we are also open for you to do your internship in Singapore. So the overseas component for industrial attachment or internship is not mandatory anymore, but the overseas 1 year of study is mandatory for all REP students. So that's a little bit of detail about your undergraduate curriculum and the overseas curriculum. What about the Master of Science in Technology Management? What do you think you will learn in that particular part of the curriculum? So just again in a very broad sense, what is entailed in the MSc Technology Management, which is aligned with our vision of nurturing students as future leaders of the industry. We will allow you to undertake real world and new ventures with startup companies. So we engage venture capitalists, we engage startup companies, their founders, and they will even come and teach you, and you can come up with your proposals, and sometimes these are successful and you will be funded right away even as a student of REP. And in terms of the courses, there are 3 broad categories, as you can see here: leadership and people, operations and analytics, and technology and innovation. So you will take courses in leadership, as I mentioned before. There are 2 courses in leadership. The first course is about 1 credit and the second course is about 3 credit units, and you will take those 2 courses in year 4 after you return from overseas. Then we have courses in operations and business analytics. We have courses in ethics and the laws of intellectual property. We have courses in systems thinking and so on. So these 3 areas are completely covered under the Master of Science in Technology Management. And after you graduate with that degree, many of you will probably have your eyes set on starting a company or working for a couple of years before you delve into the realm of startups and so on. You can also choose one elective from either the Nanyang Technopreneurship Center or from the Nanyang Business School or from one of the 6 engineering schools. So there is the choice of taking one elective under this Master of Science in Technology Management, which requires you to complete 30 credits over a 1.5 year period starting from year 4 before you complete your studies at the end of semester 1, year 5. So your next question possibly, if I can read your mind, is, well, what about the student life and residential experience in REP? Is it all about studies? Do I keep studying to get those 2 degrees because it's 4.5 years, the curriculum may be too demanding? Do I get any time for anything else at all? Well, fret not. There's plenty of time for you to engage in other activities. And we have the REP students formed club known as RE Club or Renaissance Engineering Club. And I'll show you the activities of that club very soon. And then you will know that there's plenty that you can engage in during your student life here. So let's take a look at what activities you can take part in through the Renaissance Engineering Club or RE Club. So in no particular order, if we start from this side, there is a Makers Lab. And the good thing for you is that we have got 2 independent facilities owned by REP on our campus, our beautiful Yunnan Garden campus. One of the facilities is in the North Hill, which is within the compound of 3 residential halls, and you are guaranteed a place in one of the halls of residence throughout your study in REP. Of course, in the year 3 you will be overseas, you will not be required to live in a hall of residence at NTU, but the remaining 3.5 years we guarantee you a place on campus. And in the first year you will stay in one of the 3 halls in North Hill, where we have a facility owned by REP. It's a 2-story facility. We have got 2 big seminar rooms which can take about 60 to 65 students each. We have got 6 to 8 project rooms, discussion rooms for you to brainstorm, pick the brains of your fellow colleagues and or instructors and tutors and so on and so forth. And the RE club sometimes also has meetings at that facility. The second facility is at the Nanyang Business School, where we have a Renaissance project room, where also we have some classes, particularly the classes of the Master of Science in Technology Management. So you can use of these facilities which are available to REP students almost all the time. In fact, especially when exams are coming up or even during the exams, we allow these facilities to be opened up sometimes until midnight or even beyond, depending upon the needs of the students. So you can engage in the Makers Lab, which is parked inside the North Hill facility of REP. You can tinker with stuff, you can make and break and tinker with stuff, because that's what the purpose of the Makers Lab is. Also, there is a Makers Design project that you can be involved with. And then we've got the Transition and Orientation program, something that we call as TOP, TOP, Transition and Orientation. You can be part of that once you get into your second year and beyond, because in year 1, the seniors will be holding the Transition and Orientation program for you. Then you can be involved in repertoire. Everything we start with RE stands for Renaissance Engineering. So under this, you can have your own band. You can do something that is innovative. And also we have RE Play, where your other skills, traits come to the fore. Maybe you are a very good singer, you can play the guitar, or you can dance and things like that. So you can always come out with all your traits and show us your wide array of skill sets. And a couple of years ago, the student club launched the RE Hub, where RE again stands for Renaissance Engineering, but they prefer to call it Renaissance Entrepreneurship Hub. Yeah, the reason for that entrepreneurship word is that it is really meant for budding entrepreneurs. So through the RE Hub initiative, we invite venture capitalists, we invite startup founders, etc., to come to our campus and give talks, seminars, webinars, conduct workshops for aspiring technopreneurs or entrepreneurs, and also perhaps to inspire those who are not sure whether or not they want to have startups and things like that. So this has been a very good initiative that was launched about a couple of years ago. Of course, because of the pandemic, there have not been face-to-face seminars and workshops, but the online activities have continued. So there's plenty for you to be involved with. It's a lot of fun-filled activities, and this will also hone your leadership skills. Especially the RE Club, every year they have a new executive committee, they have a president, they have a couple of vice presidents, secretary, treasurer, and some other working committees. So we would strongly encourage you to be part of the leadership journey by joining the RE Club. Also, just to mention to you some of the accolades that the REP students have been bringing to us, and we are extremely proud of that. Most of them are international, but there are some that are regional as well. The list is not exhaustive, but I'm just showcasing some examples for your viewing pleasure. The last one that we recently are very proud of is on the extreme right-hand side bottom here. The REP team was the first runner-up in the Shopee Product and Design Challenge 2021. And then last year in 2020, we were the regional finals champion in the Shell Imagine the Future competition. And the other one that we are extremely proud of is this girl, Tan Jie Hui, who joined us in 2018. And she was given this title of Ernst & Young Corporate Finance Woman of the Year, the competition which she won. And she traveled to Rome in February 2020, just before the pandemic. How lucky, right? All right, so a word about our graduates, because you must be wondering, what happens when our students graduate from REP. Do they even get employed? I mean, obviously, if you're wondering that, you're not wondering about the right thing. But let's take a look. We believe that for REP students, the world is their oyster. We have had 7 graduated cohorts so far. The first batch of REP started in 2011 and graduated in December 2015. So 7 batches have graduated now. The last batch just graduated this month, and we have had 362 graduates in those 7 batches. So typically you can see roughly about 50 to 60 students per batch. That's the norm. We don't take usually more than 60. We don't usually take less than 50. But of course, it's not the number that we are looking for. It's more of quality rather than quantity. In fact, in recent years, the numbers have become closer to 45 to 50. So we are not really looking at the quantity per se, but it's the quality that is the most important when we take in students in the program. And all these 362 graduates are currently working for 160 companies. So you can see on an average about 2 to 2.5 students per company. So they are spread in almost all the industries, not just in Singapore but worldwide. And majority of them, as you would expect, are working in Singapore, but many of them working in the US, UK, Japan and elsewhere. So employment is not an issue. Based on my stay in the REP over the last 4 years, I have seen that almost all the students have jobs before they graduate from the program. Finally, let's look at how you would apply to the program should you be interested. So I will take you through the application process, and I will elaborate a little bit on what we call as the multiple mini interview format. So let's take a look at how you will apply to the program. The application process is like this. Your online application deadline is 19th of March 2022. I think this is the most important deadline for you if you are keen to apply for the program. Usually at 23:59 the website will be closed and you will not be able to apply after that. Barring unforeseen circumstances, that deadline would normally not be extended either. If you are interested in applying for a scholarship and you don't want your parents to be burdened with the Papa Mama or PM scholarship, then I think this is what you should do. You should also apply for the REP scholarship by the same deadline of March 19, 2022. And of course, for the scholarship, the extracurricular records, the CCAs, your referee report, we need at least one referee report, and also your personal essay will have to be submitted by the same deadline. And let me tell you that these documents are very, very important, because admission and scholarship are slightly decoupled, in the sense that we don't have scholarships for all the students that we admit. Therefore, if you really want to win a scholarship, you have to excel in all these fields. That is, your CCAs, your personal essay, and your referee report must be a solid one. And of course, you have to go through the admission interview process. So the interview itself, we will shortlist candidates, first of all based on your A-level score or Poly score or NUS High or IB score, whichever qualification you apply to NTU for. Once you are shortlisted for the interview, then the interview itself will go through the multiple mini interview phase, which I will mention in the next slide. And normally the shortlisted candidates will be notified, and the result of the interview will be sent to you as soon as possible, but no later than the first week of May, because I think somewhere around the middle of May or the third week of May, you have to accept one of the 6 offers that you receive from the 6 local institutions of higher learning. You can receive offers from all the 6 universities locally, but you can only accept one offer, and then the rest of the offers will become null and void. That's the process. So the outcome will be made known to you latest by the early part of May, but we try to inform you as soon as we possibly can. So let's take a look at what the multiple mini interview format entails. So generally, the shortlisted applicants who are invited for the interview will have to go through 6 stations. There are 4 stations of what we call as short structured interviews. When I say short, it's only 5 minutes. So it is really, really short. And what are we trying to test you in those 5 minutes at each of the 4 interview stations? We are looking at traits such as character. We are looking at creative thinking. We are looking at, can you think on your feet, and things like that. So character, creative thinking, creativity, and so on, leadership, those are the traits that we will test under these short structured interview stations. 5 minutes each. A professor will be seated inside the room. You are asked to read a scenario. You go inside the room, and the discussion will take place based on the scenario that you have read outside the room for a minute. Of course, last couple of years, because there's no face-to-face interaction, so some of this will happen online. Hopefully, the coming admission exercise, we can revert to the face-to-face interviews, but this is something that we cannot speak as of now, because it depends upon the prevailing conditions and regulations. And then you will have an individual interview with the director, that is with me. I like to interview all the applicants that we shortlist for the program as well as for scholarship, because I want to have a bigger picture of all the applicants so that we can pick some of the best for our program. Finally, we have a team-based exercise where we take 5 students and we ask them to do something that involves a team-based activity over a half an hour period. Once again, this has not been done in the last 2 years because of the pandemic, and we do not know whether it will be done in the next admission exercise. But under normal times, this is one of the 6 things that are included as part of the multi-mini interviews. And the scores from each of the 6 stations will then be amalgamated, and then we will rank the candidates according to the overall score, and then we will send offer letters to those who qualify or those who meet our cutoff based on the criteria. So that's what this is about. I just want to reiterate that the application deadline is 19th of March. So please make sure that you apply on or before the deadline, and if you are applying for scholarship, then that same deadline will apply to you. Yeah. So I do want to leave you with the URL of the REP. You can go to the NTU website, ntu.edu.sg/REP. That's where the Renaissance Engineering Program is. Please feel free to go look there and get a more detailed overview of the curriculum, of the RE club and their activities, of the overseas year, professional attachment, etc. And should you need more information, please feel free to write to our office or to call one of my colleagues. Yeah, thank you very much and all the best. Bye-bye.